Oh, hello, Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at supermarkets, and as you may or may not know, Tesco's is opening up in Harrogate in the next couple of weeks. So what I'm going to do is look at the 4 supermarkets that we've got at the moment. Now put to one side Aldi and Lidl for the moment. I'm just going to look at the 4 traditional supermarkets and see which one is the best. And along the way I'm going to learn a few things, like the fact that medium sliced bread is cheaper than thick sliced bread in many places. Asda has a crossing to nowhere, and did you know Robbie Williams now advertises cat food? I'm going to take quite a scientific approach, so I'm going to have 5 different criteria, give marks for each one of those, and then at the end there will be a winner. Arguably, cost is the most important thing about any supermarket, and I'll be looking at 5 items all making up a full English breakfast to see which one is cheapest. A supermarket is only good if it's open, so I'll be looking at the hours that each of the 4 supermarkets operates over and see which is best. I love a good deli counter or a butcher's or a fish counter or a baker's shop, and I think it enhances any supermarket. We'll have a look at which is the best out of the 4 supermarkets. Some have sushi. Moving on to services, some have petrol stations, some dry cleaners, key cutters. They sometimes sell clothes. We're going to have a look at which are the best amongst our 4. And finally, the overall shopping experience, which is the cleanest, which one was nicer, which one did you enjoy the most. That is all put together in our final category, and then it all goes on to our leaders board, all empty at the minute, 5 categories at the top, and in the end we will see which one is the winner. So let's move on first of all to cost. And as you can see, we're looking at the core supermarket brand. We're not looking at the extra special or the value item, the core brand, with the exception of one, and that is our only branded item, Heinz baked beans. First of all, Morrisons Starbeck, well, bacon £2.25 there for 300 grams, sausages same price for £1 pack. Eggs, free range eggs, £1.75. Bread at 75p, thick or medium sliced. And then finally the Heinz baked beans are £1.40. So the cost of our full English breakfast at Morrisons is £8.40. Onto Asda's at Bower Road. Bacon cheaper, £1.79. Sausage cheaper as well. 74p or 75p. Medium sliced bread is cheaper than thick for reasons that I don't quite understand. Free range eggs, £1.75. And 2p cheaper on the Heinz baked beans, £1.38. Leaving Asda's at £7.55 for the shop. Sainsbury's is cheaper again for the bacon at £1.69. Sausages £1.79, the same as Asda's. Eggs £1.75 for 6 British free-range eggs. 74 or 75p again for the bread. Medium is cheaper, £1.40 for the beans, meaning Sainsbury's is 18p cheaper than Asda's. Waitrose, probably not going to be the cheapest, although the sausages are cheaper than Morrisons. Bacon most expensive at £3 for 300 grams. Eggs 5p more expensive than everyone else. Bread, they don't care about medium or thick slices, all £1, and same price on the baked beans as most other people at £1.40, although if you buy 12 packs it is 75p each. And probably worth noting, if you want really cheap beans, then Home Bargains is 89p. So let's summarise the costs then. There are the costs per supermarket. As you can see, Sainsbury's the cheapest, Waitrose the most expensive, and this is the way that we're going to work out the points. So the first place in each category gets 4 points, the 4th place gets 1 point, 2nd and 3rd you can probably work that out for yourself. So the leaderboard right at the start, Sainsbury's is ahead with 4 points, and Waitrose is bringing up the rear as the most expensive. So I've got all of the opening hours from their respective websites. Just bear in mind, Asda's has some temporary hours at the minute because they're doing some refurbishment work, but we're going to look at now which of these 4 supermarkets are open for the longest. Now I've put their opening hours there. You can pause it if you want to look at it in some detail. Let's add it up to see how many hours per week. As you can see, Asda's 112 hours. Next, Morrisons and Sainsbury's tied on 96 hours. Waitrose in last at 83.5. So let's say quite easily there, Asda's win this category with 4 points. Morrisons and Sainsbury's joint second, and then Waitrose bringing up the rear. So let's look at the leaderboard after 2 rounds, and we can see that Asda's and Sainsbury's are tied. Waitrose in last place with Morrisons in 3rd. So next we have deli counters, in-store bakeries, butchers, all of that, and traditionally Morrisons does the best of all of that. Huge selection, including cake shop. I think they do pizzas, really very good. I don't think they can be beaten. Asda's, not so much. They've got some sushi there, as you can see, as well as a pizza counter, and there's a bakery right at the other end of the store. Just 3 serve over counters. Sainsbury's even less, so again sushi and a baker's, bits and pieces around the store, but don't really go in for it very much. Waitrose have plenty, and some very, very nice bakery there, as you can see, a lovely cake shop. They've also got sushi. They've also got very nice looking butchers, deli counter, fish counter, etc. They do very, very well indeed in this category. So if we have a look, Morrisons wins this one, 4 points for counters. Waitrose in second place with 3 points. Asda's has 2 points, just slightly ahead of Sainsbury's, which in this category they are the worst. So that means on our leaderboard, Morrisons now joins Asda's in the top spot, Sainsbury's number 2, Waitrose still bringing up the rear. Probably worth noting that the only shop that doesn't do sushi is Morrisons, but whether or not you'd want Morrisons staff to attempt sushi is quite another matter. Services next, Morrisons does have a petrol station but no EV charging. They do have a card factory that's just been put in, but I don't think anyone's told the main store because they've got shed loads of cards. It has a cafe. It was closed on this occasion, but it's usually open. The only one out of our 4 supermarkets that does have a cafe now. They sell lots and lots of clothes, and they have a machine for Timpsons or a photo booth, which is, I'm sure, quite useful if you need that sort of thing. Next, we move over to Asda's. Again, they've got a huge selection of non-food items, clothes, toys, other things, etc., homeware. A bit of a mess at the minute because they're doing some refurbishment work. They've got a petrol station, often the cheapest petrol in town. There's a Timpsons, which is quite big, that also does dry cleaning. They've also got an opticians, and they've got a pharmacy. Some EV charging outside, but it is in the council car park next door, which means that you have to pay, and then there is a knife drop bin for reasons beyond understanding. Sainsbury's has a very convenient petrol station there on Wetherby Road, which I use quite often. There's a Timpsons outside, and there's some EV charging, which is again very useful there on the left-hand side. There is an Argos and then some Habitat stock inside as well. There's a dentist and also Travel Money, the only one out of our 4 that has either a dentist or Travel Money, which I guess is quite unusual. Quite a bit ahead there. You can see the cafe is now closed. It does have probably the best selection of clothing in town for a supermarket. Huge area over there to the left-hand side as you walk in. Going over to Waitrose then, very much just a food store. It's quite small compared to others on this list. They do have, I think, as far as I'm aware, just a Johnson's dry cleaning counter, and that's pretty much it. So Sainsbury's narrowly wins the services round, followed by Asda's, Morrisons in third place, Waitrose bringing up the rear again, which means the result after round 4 means that Asda and Sainsbury's are sharing the lead. Waitrose still bringing up the rear, Morrisons in between those. So on to shopping experience, and what can I say about Morrisons? Now, I used to work for Morrisons, not in the retail bit, but in the manufacturing side, so I'm a bit biased. I think it's an opportunity missed often with Morrisons. I think there are some challenges in terms of staff ability. I have gone to the cheese counter and the lady said to me, I can't cut cheese. I have gone to the baker's counter and the guy said, I'm sorry, I'm not trained to slice bread. So there are some basics. I think the place looks a bit of a mess at the minute. I don't think there's an awful lot going on. It doesn't seem as loved as it once did. I do like the fresh food element of it though. All of the counters I think are really good. I do love the fact also that they do champion local food very often. And as you can see, the booze is locked away often now. Just seems a bit of a mess sometimes. Asda, similarly, a bit higgledy-piggledy, I think. It looks very dated. I don't know what that filthy stuff is there. Anyway, it does look a bit dated. No doubt those indentations on the back walls used to be where the deli counters, butchers counters were, etc., etc. They've got some really good clothing lines there, which is good. And they introduced Harrogate to the most useful zebra crossing in the town. I don't go to Sainsbury's very often, but having researched it for this video, I think I'll go there a little bit more now. It is a nice shop to walk around. It just feels nice and clean and tidy and organised, nice high ceilings, nice and fresh. It's certainly somewhere I think I will go to a lot more. Nice wine counter there. You can see some nice beer there on the left as well. Certainly a very pleasant place to do your shopping, I would say. I think I'll be going there a lot more. Again, Waitrose is just nice. It seems really nice, clean and tidy. I think their car park sometimes can be a little bit tight. I have had a few close encounters in that car park, but really nice and fresh, open shelving there, as you can see. A few nice counters, loads of staff around, and seemed very helpful indeed. Again, probably out of these 4, it's the one I use least, but possibly after this video, I might go in there a little bit more often. So for shopping experience, Waitrose wins its one and only category there with 4 points. Next is Sainsbury's on 3. Asda's is 2, and then Morrisons very much bringing up the rear in this category at least. So if we add it all together, you can see Sainsbury's is the winner. Asda's is second on 14 points. Then Morrisons comes in third on 12 points, with Waitrose just about in fourth. Nice to see that every supermarket won at least one category there, which is very good. But Sainsbury's, officially, according to Channel Scott, is Harrogate's best supermarket. So congratulations to them. it's certainly a place I will be going into an awful lot more. Anyway, hope this has been of use to you, and as ever, thanks very much for watching. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, I'd be very grateful if you could like this video and hit that notification bell. If you do that, you'll continue to receive lots more rubbish just like this.